Ooh, what's up YouTube? This is Mox Lotus here, and today we're going to be doing a opening and draft analysis of a pack of Battle for Zendikar. So last time we opened up a pack of Magic Origins and, well, it wasn't exactly the greatest pack in terms of monetary value and the cards inside. Like, there wasn't anything that I would put in the, like, really good pile, I guess, but yeah, there are quite a few cards in the pretty bad pile, so hopefully this pack's a bit better. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. Also, speaking of this Battle for Zendikar block, the spoilers for Oath of the Gatewatch, there's been a substantial amount of them now, so in the next video we're going to be talking about them, and this pack doesn't want to open. But yeah, we're going to be going over those spoilers, so definitely stay tuned for that. And yeah, so let's get into it. So our first card is the Territorial Baloth. And this card is a 4/4 for 5 with landfall. And the landfall gives him +2/+2. I think this is fine, to be honest. It's definitely a solid creature. I think we can put it in the fairly good pile, I guess. So if you guys haven't seen the series before, there's going to be 5 different piles. There's going to be a bad one, a pretty bad one, a medium one, a pretty good one, and then a really good one. I know it's hard to fit it all in on camera, but hopefully it'll work out. Next up we have Crush of Currents. This is a sorcery for 1, and it's an unsummon, and you can awaken it to get a land with 3 +1/+1 counters and haste, so that's actually pretty good, to be honest. Unsummon's a fine card on its own, and the Awaken just makes it a bit better. I think we can put that in the very good pile with the Baloth. Next up we have Calestrian Nightwatch. I think I talked about this card, I did a sort of sealed analysis video for Battle for Zendikar, and I talked about this card in that. I think it's alright. It is it's got decent stats, and it is an ally and a vampire, so you do have those synergies there. And it's got a decent effect, flies are always nice. You do need to gain life though, so you pretty much have to be using a white deck as well, so they're like a black-white. I'm kind of conflicted on whether to put this in the medium or the pretty good. I'd say it can go in the pretty good pile. So far we've actually had a decent pack. Next up, Volcanic Upheaval. Destroy target land for 4, so it's like Demolish, I guess. I think it's okay, really. Land destruction in drafting isn't really that important, and yeah, it's a bit overcosted, so we'll put that in the medium thing there. Next up we have Stonehaven Medic. This is another card I talked about. I don't think it's that great, to be honest. I guess it does have some Calestrian Nightwatch synergies, but life gain generally isn't that great, and you gain such a small amount of life, and it is a bit of a commitment because not only do you have to tap him, but it's also a mana, and his stats aren't that great, so I guess we'll put it with Volcanic Upheaval. Again, it does have some synergies, which is what I guess saves it from being pretty bad, but still it's not great either. Next up we have Scour from Existence. So 7 mana, exile target permanent, and I think this card, it's pretty good because it's removal that can go in any deck. It is very expensive, but it gets rid of anything, and it exiles it as well. So to be honest, I think we can put it in the pretty good pile. I wouldn't really consider it our first pickable card, but it's definitely good when it's been passed around a bit. Next up, Tajiru Beastmaster. Say 5/5 for 6 with Rally. So whenever an ally or him enters the battlefield, creatures you control get +1/+1. That's actually pretty good. Ally decks in Limited are quite powerful. It's really just a matter of getting all the allies, and yeah, so it can help buff up your Calestrian Nightwatch. I think he's decent. He's good enough on his own, and you can play him and get the pump spell as well, so you don't have to even have other allies. So again, I think we can honestly put him in here. This pack has been surprisingly good, really. Definitely an improvement on the last one. But next up we have Wave Wing Elemental. It's a 6 mana 3/4 with flying and landfall. So when a land enters the battlefield, it gets +2/+2. So I think that it's really a 4/5 flyer for 6. That's pretty good. I mean, even flies, actually no. Yeah, it's a 5/6. So that's even better. Yeah, I think this card, it's pretty good. I mean, even a 3/4 flyer for 6 isn't that bad. And obviously, if you get a Expedition or an Evolving Wilds in your pack, then it's got that synergy there. So I honestly think it can go in the pretty good pile. So it looks like we're nearly up to the uncommons. And the next card's Evolving Wilds. So obviously you've got the landfall synergy. I think like the card itself is decent, but it's not the type of thing you'd really first pick. Like, it's not a bad card by any means, but I just wouldn't pick it over any of the cards in the very good pile. Again, like, you can pick up a bunch of landfall creatures and it's pretty good, but it's really just a mediocre card. It is generic as well, which is another thing, but still. So next up we have Silent Skimmer. This is a 4 mana 0/4 drone with Devoid and Flying, and when it attacks, the defending player loses 2 life. So this card isn't that good, to be honest. Like, a 0/4 for 4 is not that great, and it has Flying so it can block, but the point of him is to attack, and I guess like you can keep attacking with him, but it's really just a 2 damage thing each time. It would have been better if he had like, you know, maybe 1 attack or something, so you kind of need to power him up a bit. And yeah, I don't think it's that great really. And just doing 2 each turn is a bit slow. Like, it'll take 10 turns for you to win doing that, and that's when your opponent doesn't gain any life. So I think we can honestly put this card in the pretty bad pile. So for our first uncommon, we have Grove Rumbler. It's a 4 mana 3/3 with trample and landfall. I think this card's fine. It's just a bit narrow, really. I'm kind of conflicted on which pile to put him in. I think that if you're in the colours, then he's quite good, but otherwise he is hard to pick because he's 2 colour. But I'll just put him here. I still think that he's a decent enough card on his own. Landfall creatures are always very strong, although they do make you play a land in the main phase 1, but still. So next up we have Rolling Thunder, and this is pretty good. It deals X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and permanents, or players, sorry. And it's X and 2 red. So this is a good board wipe, and it lets you divide it up and target the creatures that you want to hit. It's really good removal. It can win you the game. I honestly think that this card is a bit better than the cards in the very good, really. Not by a ton, but I don't think it's very good. I think that this card is really good. So it is a contender for first pick. For our last uncommon, we have Spawning Bed. This is a land which you can tap to add 1 colourless, and for 6 in tap you can sacrifice it and get 3 1/1 Scions, and you can sack them to add 1 to your mana pool. I think it's alright, really. Like, Scions aren't really that important in drafting, and yeah, it is pretty steep to use its effect. It's basically 7 mana, and yeah, like, there's no real token synergies or anything in this set, and there isn't even really that much Eldrazi synergy, so I think it can go with the Silent Skimmer. Like, Evolving Wilds is just better than it because, you know, Evolving Wilds works with the landfall. We didn't get a foil, but we did get a Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, so yeah, another land, unfortunately. And yeah, lands, unless they're fetch lands in this format, really aren't that good. And yeah, so you really need to rely on the expedition format, the expeditions. But yeah, basically, say you can tap it to add 1 to your mana pool, or you can tap it to add 2 to your mana pool and spend it only to cast colourless spells. And you can only activate that ability if you have 7 or more lands. So it's like a really bad version of Temple of the False God. So yeah, that's definitely going in the very bad pile. So to recap, I think that in terms of what I'd first pick, I'd definitely say that the number one card of the pack is Rolling Thunder. For the other ones, I'm just going through them now, but I think that it would be Territorial Bailoff, Clutch of Currents, Scour from Existence. I do think Scour from Existence is a pretty good card. Again, generic and all that, so it doesn't lock you into any colours. And then lastly, Grove Rumbler, provided that you're in the right colours. It is a bit of a narrow pick, but if you can take it, then definitely take it. So that's it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Thanks for watching as always, and until next time, bye guys.